All right, we're live. What's up, YouTube? Quite a while. I did make a few, but I never uploaded it. I got super busy. Anyway, not excuses, but this. Some of you may know, some of you don't. I'm in my first year of teaching, and it has been crazy. Been putting in oftentimes 65 hours a week. Oh, my cat's running around. So some of my kids found out I have a YouTube channel. So if you guys are watching this, what's up? I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Anyway, I want to come to you. It's the eve of the draft. I'm so excited. I really am. Got a couple things I want to do. I wasn't able to scout nearly as much this year as I have in every other year of my life. So I am not like last year. I was just sold on a couple guys, and this year I'm getting really close to being like totally sold, but I don't have anyone that I'm just like, oh. Like last year I was with Reuben Foster, and the year before I was with Carl Joseph, and I was with Khalil Mack and Derek Carr. I was with Deion Jones, was another guy I just absolutely loved. So I'm gonna hit you with a 7 round mock draft. Um, I've done quite a bit of homework, but not nearly enough to be like, oh, like I totally know what I'm talking about entirely. But I've watched a lot of film. I've listened to a lot of analysts. There's some guys I really like, and some later round guys in here, to be honest with, that I know a little bit about, but I don't know a ton about. I'm not projecting what I think the Raiders will do. I'm projecting what I think the Raiders should do, and so that's something to keep in mind. So first round pick number 10. I'm on the Reuben Foster. I'm on the Roquan Smith bandwagon. I think that he is an incredibly intelligent player. He's super fast and athletic for a linebacker, and I really think that that is where we need to go with if he is on the board, which it's becoming more and more evident that he probably won't be. But Roquan Smith, linebacker Georgia, is where I want to go in the first round. Fast, smart. He's a little bit small, but I don't think that matters. And I love, like I said, I was huge and am huge on Deion Jones out of LSU. Plays for the Falcons now. Every time I watch him and he makes a big play, I get disgusted because I'm like, you know what, not that I, well, we picked Jihad Ward over him, and he would be the answer to a lot of problems. And Jihad Ward hasn't played a ton, although he did play a little bit at the end of the year and he looked pretty good. So I think that he can come in right away and fix this stupid hole we have at linebacker. And it's a hole we've had at linebacker, guys, forever. Like since Kirk Morrison. Like, I don't know. We took Rolando McClain, and I know that makes Raider fans weary, but this kid is different. This kid is a very good individual. He's a very good kid, and he is extremely talented, extremely smart, and could be the leader on this team and really set the difference. I'm not if he's off the board, I want to go Tremaine Edmonds. I know I'm not saying anything you guys haven't heard a million times because that's always where we're mocked. If Edmonds is off the board and Smith is off the board, I want to go Minka Fitzpatrick. If he's not on the board, Denzel Ward. If Denzel Ward's what's up, Jorge? Better see you at school tomorrow, bud. If Denzel Ward's off the board, then I want to go Josh Jackson, maybe, out of Iowa. Um, and I'm not opposed to like Vita Vea or other defensive linemen, but the thing is we're moving to a 4-3, and I know everyone's big on this defensive lineman, but we have invested a lot there. And I really feel like we have bigger needs than D line. And I do think we need to address depth at the D line, but realistically, you have Khalil coming off the edge. We decided we're moving Bruce Irvin to full time. Oh, you're in Colorado? All right, well, I'll see you when you get back, bud. Um, so we've got Khalil coming off one edge. Then we've decided we're going to put Bruce Irvin on the other edge, coming off both sides. So those are pretty set. We just gave Justin Ellis a huge contract extension, and I think that he's there. So that Vita Vea role is kind of picked up already, and we're paying him a lot of money to be a rotational guy at that point, which is fine. But with the hole at middle linebacker and the hole at outside linebacker, I think that's more important. And then we'll probably kick Mario Edwards Jr. inside to a 3 tech. You got other guys in there too, Trayvon Hester and Jihad Ward and those guys. So I do think we need more depth, but I think corners and linebackers are the way to go. And to be honest with you, you'll see that in this draft class. So number 2 pick that I have in the second round, I want the Raiders, and he's not going to be on the board right now during this at all, but I want Isaiah Oliver. He's a real lengthy corner. He's someone who is tall, really long arms, and he's. Someone said, I heard somewhere that he has the seventh longest arms in the NFL in the last 20 years. So he uses his arms to make plays on the ball, and he's very tall. He's very fluid. He's a great technician. Kind of cool story. I had an opportunity to coach some football in Arizona my junior year of college when I was at Arizona State, and I thought about it and I realized I need to focus on school. So I didn't coach, but the school I was talking to was Brophy College Prep, and that's actually where Isaiah Oliver was at, and it would have been his senior year, so I would have been able to coach him. So a little biased there, but I think he's a really good corner, and I think he and Conley and maybe Melvin in the slot could really solidify our corner position with Roquan Smith in the middle and a good D-line rotation. So I really think that's the way to go. Other guys who I would like there, if he's off the board, which he probably will be, Sam Hubbard. I also like, what did I write down? Deron Payne, he'll be off the board too. Sony Michel, running back. I think that we could address that too. I really like DJ Moore. I think he's a really good football player. Anthony Miller again too, to address the wide receiver position. But I really think linebacker, corner are the way to go rounds 1 and 2. There's some other guys, Mike Hughes and some other corners out there that I think really we could take too. Jair Alexander, Dante Jackson, who could really help us there. So, and then, so again, linebacker, corner, this is nothing you guys haven't heard a million times, but with the third round, I was thinking about what I really think the Raiders should do. And I already told you, I feel like in this draft, we've addressed the middle linebacker. We brought in Tahir Whitehead, and he'll be another outside linebacker. So him and Roquan will be there. I've told you how our D-line is pretty set, I believe. Then we've taken Oliver, we've got Conley, we've got Melvin, so our corners are pretty set. And then, because our defense needs to be fixed. Like, that's the number one. That has to be, in my mind, that has to be the number one priority. Fix this defense. We've got Carl, and we've got Obi Melifonwu at safety. But we need another linebacker, to be honest with you, at that point. I know Corey James is on an Nicholas Morrow, so I think we need to take Jerome Baker. He's another really fast, athletic, smaller linebacker who will help us take guys like Travis Kelce out of the game. And he, even though he's smaller and faster, they both ran in the 4.5s. Jerome Baker, he's stronger than you think. He's more physical than you think, and I think he would be a really good addition to this linebacker core. So at that point, our defense would be pretty set, I feel, by taking him there. Okay, so fourth round, pick number 110 overall. This is a total homer pick. It's a pick I've made constantly, but I watched this guy every snap he took in college, and I love Royce Freeman, running back from Oregon. I think he is an every down back. He's not going to burn you with speed, but he is going to give you 110%, and he's going to run you over. He's great red zone guy, and his numbers. I don't even know what they were off the top of my head, but they don't tell the whole story, and his numbers are pretty freaking good. We had a 1-year coaching change here this last year with Willie Taggart coming in for Mark Helfrich. And I think Royce might have, he either started with Helfrich or he started at the end of the Chip Kelly era. There's like a year or two apart, but he stayed because of Taggart, and for whatever reason, Taggart started pulling him in the worst moments of the game. So he would, Royce would pound and grind his way down the field, and once we got in the red zone, which is where Royce excels, they would pull him out and give the ball to someone else. And I still think even doing that repeatedly, he still had something like 16 touchdowns his senior year. So I've heard people talk about how he's going to be this year's Kareem Hunt. I agree. I think he is going to be a guy that some team is going to be extremely lucky to get, and he's going to win a starting job, and he's going to be a very good running back in this league for 7, 8, 9, 10 years. So powerful. He's a stud. He's my dude. Okay. So round 5, pick 159. This is where some of these guys I don't know as much about. I like Martinez Rankin, but I don't think he's going to be there. I think we need to address the right tackle. But again, I don't think it's as pressing of a need. I felt like we have addressed this with some guys, some quality guys we have on this roster who can fill the role better than what people have before. So David Sharp looked pretty good, like Christmas Eve game against the Eagles. He looked pretty good. I feel like he could fill that role nicely. So I got Chukwuma Okorafor. I think that's how you say it. Offensive tackle from Central Michigan. He is not a perfect prospect at all. He is big, 6'5", 335, I believe is what it is. He's got some quick feet, and he's really strong. He's got a lot of knocks. He doesn't use his hands right. He leans a lot, but those are things I feel like we could fix and put him in the rotation to compete and try and find the right tackle, whether that's David Sharp, whether that is Vidal Alexander, or can't remember the name of that other kid he was undrafted out of Arkansas off the top of my head. But regardless, he can come in and compete for that right tackle position. Round 5, pick 173. I have us taking Holton Hill, cornerback out of Texas. He's another big dude, 6'2", corner. Off the field issues, if I remember right. He at one point was projected to be a first-round draft pick and was like taking the nation by storm. But I think he might have got kicked off the team. Stupid, makes mistakes, and his draft stock is going to pay for it. But I feel like the value here at the 5th round is enough to take a flyer on this kid. Round 6, I have us taking pick 185, taking Alan Lazard. He's a wide receiver from Iowa State. He's a pretty big dude. That's a common theme I've got. Went small early and then big. He's tough. He's a red zone threat. Some people think he might make the switch to tight end. He kind of reminds me, from the limited amount of tape I watched, I feel like we could use him in this kind of role that we used Andre Holmes in. Give Derek Carr a big body receiver to put the ball up to in the red zone when we're not handing it off to Royce Freeman or Marshawn Lynch or Doug Martin. Those are all pretty much big, powerful running backs. Yeah, but I think Royce Freeman could be the answer there. So yeah, Alan Lazard, wide receiver, Iowa State. Round 6, super basic pick, super like played out. Everyone talks about it. Everyone makes this pick, but Khalil McKenzie, Tennessee defensive lineman. He's the son of Reggie McKenzie. Everyone knows that. Everyone hears him talk in the interviews, but he's super well put together, super intelligent. Um, he's another big, strong guy. He's quick. He's got good hands. I think he really would have benefited from staying in college another year, but he came out this year, and I feel like I don't know. I feel like that it just makes sense. I don't think it's going to happen, but get some D line depth. He's familiar with our GM, and go with it from there. Round 6, I have Joel Ostman. He's a edge rusher, defensive end from Central Michigan. He had 14 sacks last year, which is really good. He's a guy who, from all accounts that I've read, I don't know too much about him, but he is someone who works extremely hard, from what I've heard. And he is a strong guy who is like a gym rat, is something that I heard a lot about him. So I think he could come in and provide some more good depth there in round 6. Last 6th round pick, we've got a ton of them. J.K. Scott, punter from Alabama. Kind of goes without saying, there's a couple punters in here. I feel like we're going to draft one for sure. Losing Marquette King to the Donkeys. It's a need now. We have to take one. So there's that. And then last pick, round 7, pick number 228. I have us taking Antonio Callaway, wide receiver from Florida. This kid is an idiot. This kid is dumb. This kid should not be drafted because he constantly is in trouble. He just got busted the other day with some drugs or something. However, if you put the right mentality in this kid and get him to not make stupid choices, his talent-wise is a first-round draft pick. So, undrafted personality, first-round talent, he's worth a 7th-round pick. And you can hope that John Gruden can fix the issues that he has, and we end up with a guy who is a stud. So, I mean, that's pretty much what I got. Again, I'm hoping that I always look forward. I'm hoping that I have a new process I want to start doing in the future. So I'm hoping that I can start breaking down some film right now of some next year's prospects, start putting together a big board, making some videos where I review them, and really start moving towards next year's draft. For those of you who don't know, like, the draft is my favorite time of the year. And last year I feel like I made some pretty good videos where I was discussing things that I liked, things I didn't like, things I wanted, players I liked. I loved Reuben Foster. I really liked Eddie Vanderdoes, and we ended up drafting him, so that was cool. And I just wasn't able to do it this year with my first year teaching, and trying to get acquainted to that. So hopefully next year I'm able to do more. But I'm really looking forward to tomorrow, watching this draft and see what we do. It's got to be a good one. We've got to nail it. So let me know what you think about my picks. If you like them, go ahead and let me know. If you don't like them, go ahead and let me know that too. If you like this video, like it. Disliked it, then dislike it. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that if you want to. Love the Raiders, and hopefully we do well tomorrow. So just win, baby.